Hey, welcome back to Tearing It Up with Tony. Today we're going to be changing the oil in a 1998 Toyota Camry. To start, we're going to need the appropriate size socket, which in this case I believe is a 14 millimeter, and also a 3/8 drive ratchet. Next we'll need some gloves, keep our hands clean, an oil filter, some oil of course, and then some towels to clean up with. Always be sure to use your parking brake and possibly even wheel chocks whenever you're using ramps. So now we will put our gloves on, get your ratchet ready to go, put your oil pan in place. Let's get underneath there. So I do not have a factory style oil plug. Mine is a bolt inside of another bolt, but you'll remove your drain bolt. While that drains, I'll go ahead and clean up this plug with a paper towel. While the oil finishes draining, we will go ahead and remove and replace the oil filter. First, if this car has been running recently, check to see if the exhaust manifold is hot. This one is. You will want to use extreme caution not to burn yourself on that. You may even want to wait for it to cool down. I will use some thermally insulated welding gloves. Alright, I've broken the filter loose. Now it simply unscrews by hand. Make sure you have your oil pan positioned because the oil will run down the front of the engine and drip. You can see how the oil has run down the front of the engine. Another thing you could probably do would be to stuff some rags there before you remove the oil filter. Now we will clean up the oil filter mounting surface. For this, you will just need a paper towel. Now you can see that the mounting surface is shiny and clean. One thing to check is to make sure that this black gasket came off with the old filter. Sometimes they'll become disconnected and they will stay on the oil filter mating surface. And if you do not remove it, it will cause an oil leak. Make sure that your current oil filter matches the number on the box. In our case, it is a PH4967. To prepare this oil filter for installation, we will be using a little bit of oil to lubricate the sealing ring. Usually, if this is a side mount or underneath installation, you would pre-fill your oil filter. However, this is a top mount installation, and so if you were to pre-fill your oil filter, it would all just pour out over your engine. Don't worry, this is not going to damage your engine to not pre-lubricate the oil filter. You will tighten it hand tight. Toyota recommends that you replace this gasket every time you change your oil. I do not replace it every time. I instead inspect it to see if it's worn out, but if you like, you can replace it. This is the gasket from Toyota. Now that our oil has had time to drain, we will clean up the mounting surface and reinstall the drain bolt. The drain bolt should go in fairly easily by hand. If you have any binding, it might be a sign that you are cross-threading the bolt. So take it out and start over. Now we will tighten up the drain bolt. And clean the area, that way we can inspect for leaks later on. Now that your oil filter and drain bolt are reinstalled, we will remove the oil filler cap from the top of the engine. Place in your funnel, and then fill with the amount of oil that you require. For this engine, we will start with 4 quarts. Now remove the funnel and reinstall the oil filler cap. In order to check the oil level, we will need to run the car for about 30 seconds, and we'll also need to have it on a flat level surface. Now that the engine has run, the oil filter is primed and we can check the fluid level. As we can see, it is very near the full mark. It will need a little bit more oil. I'm currently slightly over 4 quarts left in this jug, so 4 quarts would probably be the correct amount of oil for this engine. Now we can see that I only have 1 quart remaining. This is a 5-quart jug, so I have 4 quarts inside the engine. We'll once again reinstall the oil filler cap. Now we'll wipe clean our dipstick and check the fluid level again. As you can see now, the oil is to the full mark. Now we will conduct our final inspection for leaks. That looks nice and dry. That's how you change the oil on a 1998 Toyota Camry. This is also applicable to 1997 through 2001 Toyota Camrys. Now most vehicles, most cars especially, will have a very similar oil changing procedure. The main difference is going to be that the oil filter will be in a different location. So that's how you do it. Thanks for watching.